Okay, so today we're going to be reacting to 1000 bodies in 12 hours. I watched the documentary where it was 100 bodies in, I think, one day, one whole day. But this one is a bit different. I know in the end of 100 bodies, she actually cried about, I think she was afraid not pleasing them, not liking it. It was a bit weird to watch because I've seen her uh I've seen her videos before. Don't worry, I don't pay for OnlyFans, obviously not. When you can find websites for free. I see you got some stupid people. Anyways, this was uploaded by Old Measy. It's the first time I've ever watched this video. This video was recommended to me by no one but my For You page. So let's start. If you want to watch your original video, go down in the description. Let's not waste your time. Let's start.
The big 1000 was completely done. The room was absolutely full. Then we did groups of 5.
I did not watch
one after
that
the other.
video.
I wanted
watched
to give
the
people more
documentary.
time, so then it went down to like one-on-ones, didn't it? So like one person would watch whilst I was with somebody, and then it would literally just be like a rotating circle like that.
I would think if somebody was watching me, I'd probably get a little shy. I'd probably go limp, and I don't know what they would do for them. When somebody
Maybe.
my back and
I don't know.
you got
I'm
it,
not
guy.
sure.
You got it, guy. You got it. That's as time goes on, OF content creators are getting bolder and bolder and bolder by the day. Last time we saw Lily Phillips, who happens to be friends with Bonnie here, do a whole documentary before she took on 100 guys. And we all saw how that turned out. She ended up being distressed and distraught at the end, partially because she couldn't take on all the loads and she felt, she dissatisfied the guys or whatever.
Yes.
But also because that was a lot of penises. I don't know how else to sugarcoat it.
I think like the 30th, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're gonna do this, and like it just sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, like it's not like normal sex at all. In my head right now, I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it.
But honestly, those are Mickey Mouse numbers compared to the outrageous Wilt Chamberlain-esque numbers that Bonnie has put up.
I'm the girl that lets men queue for hours. But on the 11th of January, I'm hosting an event and I want to give you a ticket so you can skip the queue and then get straight inside me.
I don't know how long today's going to take, because I feel like the first few hours isn't busy, and then as it goes on, it'll get more busy.
What's kind of crazy and disgusting at the same time about this situation is that Lily Phillips said that she was going to take on 100 bodies, but I guess her snatch don't snap back fast enough because Bonnie swooped in and said, girl, you could have been did that. Now I'm a little bit afraid though, because is she going to try to top that number by doing by 10? Is she going to do 10,000 penises? I don't know, math. That's disgusting. There are a ton of psychological effects of doing this sort of content, and I just mean regular OnlyFans or any sort of sex.
And the weird thing is that her parents
I don't
is
even think of this
actually
classifies as some of the
okay
old
with it.
like extreme sex work that they used to do back in the day. This has to be a new level of extreme sex work that can only have a new and exacerbated
I'll talk about it
psychological
then.
effect on these content creators post these endeavors. And the opening of this one-up culture that's about to happen, or well, that's currently happened in specifically this type of content creation, it has to be dangerous. I reviewed some of the footage. This time there were some serious contenders in the lineup, but ultimately what I think is going to happen is that somebody's gonna get hurt. Like I don't know how else to put it. And not saying that I saw just baby leg after baby leg. We don't need to talk about the content, but there can't be a safe thing that happens when somebody takes on this much consecutive trauma to their vaginal area. Like, that's just science.
First guy did go in raw.
Number 1 out of 1,057 went in raw. Like, I'm bent over. At this point, I had like 6 other guys up in front of me. Like, my hands are busy, my mouth's busy. And then I just turn around. I'm like, wait, you're not wrapped up. But yeah, I think like when you're in the moment from like the guy's perspective and they're getting excited, they just sort of forget, which is like completely normal. And most of them never usually wear So it's not like an instant, I'm about to go inside, let me wrap up.
We saw Lily Phillips after that documentary. She looked soulless. And then she decided not to take a break, but jump right into doing some more degenerate ass activities.
Doing a walk. There's like cars going by. I don't think anyone will notice. I think it looks like a bit like a face mask.
What I think is so nasty about all this is how normalized it is. I mean, this stuff used to be taboo. Being some sort of sex worker or OnlyFans content creator was very hush-hush, like something that only those that were in the know had to know. But now, even on children's app, and this children's app might not be around for too much longer, but even on children's apps, they are advertising that they're having some sort of meet and greets.
Bro, I was like, not like, I saw someone like, and she was just flashing, and she wasn't banned at all. So I on TikTok too. So
This is what my face looks like after taking 1,000 men less than 12 hours ago. I told you girls, taking fluids
she
and
looked
moisturizer
very
was good for your skin.
I think
skinny.
what hurts me the most is that every single day I see more and more people embrace the OF lifestyle. I mean, literally pushing this sort of content out to the masses, turning their nose up to 9 to 5s and saying, this is not for me. I hate this type of work. And because I hate this type of work, I'm going to do what I would naturally do and just take my clothes off because this is more fulfilling and more rewarding. And I got to think that it's the Bonnie Blues or the Lily Phillips who are helping encourage this type of lifestyle onto the
How about they do
The
this?
big
No.
1,000 was well and completely done.
And look, I don't have a problem with any sex workers. I get into the man-to-hand combat myself. You know, I'm a gladiator. But my problem is when they do two things. When they claim the people that are working regular jobs and claiming that they're more superior because people have a moral conscience and they're not doing whatever it takes to get the bag, even though it might be something that might spurn them later on and hurt their emotional, psychological, mental, physical. It's going to hurt them later on and they're not talking about it. And then two, when they do things that are over the top and overt and honestly bring sexual situations into situations that aren't sexual.
I just wondered, I can't see it on the menu, but where do I get the 5 guys from? The 5 guys. I didn't know if it was like a special room or you can take me out back.
No, I don't think that's happening.
What about after your shift? I mean, I'd want to give you, a good rating.
I'm a Christian man and I'm saving myself marriage.
I'm asking for what's on the menu, that's all.
Genuinely, I feel like I'm doing it right now. I can hand you a menu if you want.
Are you on it?
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, Lily,
Righteous
that's
man,
not okay.
righteous
Now, the
man.
person in question in the register did respond on Twitter and
I
said
respect
that he
that.
was perfectly fine, but he raises a couple good points. Now, I don't like this type of content where you're disrupting or disturbing just the average person. Oftentimes, it can be harmful, I can admit that. But this situation could have gone totally wrong. That person could have been underage. I mean, clearly he felt uncomfortable because those were some uncomfortable ass questions, and nobody asked for consent at the end of the day. She left after that. Like, she didn't even say, hey, I did that for a video, this is a prank, and I'm leaving. She just basically said she wanted to smash him up in the back and dipped out when he said no, but I guess it's all for the content, so it doesn't really matter. That's a whole nother video for a whole other day, is how these OF content creators have gone down the lane of taking what was supposed to be private and making it public, and by making it public, it's now just disgusting. That's harassment, that's SA, that's all these nasty things. Trends of putting baby gravy on your face and walking through the mall or doing things in a
Baby
parking
gravy,
lot
crazy.
where kids can see. I can't wait for the day where they start to get locked up because their mental illness is making it seem like this is okay and justifiable because it's all for the content. Sure, you're making great money. All money is not good money. And at some point, this topping culture and content is going to come for everyone. But specifically in the OF space, the way that it's going to come and attack these creators is something that's going to be unprecedented. I don't want to speak anything negative into the air as to what could happen or what could not happen, but a lot of people might not be on the earth longer once they realize what they were really getting into. Now, I will say that this is the peak of this, hopefully. I hope nobody takes this and doubles it or triples it, even though I know that they will. But this is the slippery slope that OF leads you down the path of that doesn't get talked about on the internet at all, but needs to be talked about immediately.
My take on this, I see OnlyFans is a good and bad thing. It's just basically porn. at the end of the day, right? But you just have to pay money for just that one person, you know? And to be honest, I do not really care, but the part that I care about is later most what do you call them? Porn stars are, what do you call OnlyFans? Just porn stars? I just call them stars. If kind of eventually most of them do turn to Christianity, or they just stop, or just decide that they want to have a child, and they don't really take to the fact that the child might get bullied for it, or things might happen to that child because of the mom. I've heard of a situation where this kid of a porn star, when she turned around 15, a guy kind of did something to her because, you know, her mom was a porn star, and he wanted to feel what the mom might have felt like. And I felt bad, really bad for her. And I don't know, I do believe it should have been a private thing. Like, they could do what they want, but I think they should have just at least hide their faces from. I know they could have hide their faces. I know some that do hide their faces, but I guess they just kind of do whatever they want. You can't really do much about. You can't really do much about it. It's their body. They just have to deal with whatever happens in their life, you know? Actions have consequences. I guess that's all you can actually say. Well, I know a couple porn stars that regret doing what they do. And there's different standards to things. Like, if it's a porn star guy, they don't get much recognition as the girls would. But the most famous one has to be Johnny Sins, and more people like him than they would to a girl porn star, you know what I mean? They're more disgusted to a girl porn star than to a guy porn star. But I guess it's much different. Kind of much different, you know? But not much you could do about it. So let them just live their life. They are just basically YouTubers, right? But they just do explicit imagery or nudity or whatever. That's basically what they do. They are content creators, nudity creators. But that's all for now, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and tell me your take on it. Tell me what do you think if you would have done if you ever did OnlyFans. I actually thought about doing it, but if I ever do it, you guys would actually never know. So